Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Adjacent. Very near, next to, or touching. Our tailgate is adjacent to the left field fence. ADJACENT. Adjacent.
All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. Today we have a beautiful, amazing, smarty in the house.
Of course,
entrepreneur,
she's smart.
incredible
Have you met her
educator. Mom? Yeah. Who do we have today?
Oh my! It's Autumn Shead.
Autumn Shead.
Hello.
Oh my gosh!
So this is not on camera, but I wish it was. Mainly for you because you're glowy, you're color coordinated. Yeah, that blue is gorgeous on you.
It is.
It's my favorite color.
It's Johnston blue.
It is a little Johnston-y blue. Okay,
represent. Go Rams, go.
Autumn is an entrepreneur. She has 2 businesses. She's a math genius. She is the daughter of Lisa and Elvin Shead. Wow.
Austin royalty.
Don't
pump their heads up too much.
So before we start, what was it like growing up, and where are you living now these days?
So I actually to start both of my businesses, moved home with my parents. God bless them.
Yeah.
Yes. And so they are giving me the opportunity to actually, kind of start from scratch and start over. I was a teacher for about 7 years, and I lived in Dallas for about 4.5. And so I was like, I don't know. I just want to come home. I got to figure it out. I know everyone who's around like 30 feels it.
Yeah.
And so it was just something around this time frame in my life where I was like, I want to have a little bit more freedom in my time, right? And try to figure out how to have a little bit more financial freedom, right? And so both of my parents, I talked to them, and my dad was just like, come on home. Just come on home. This is the best place where you could figure it out. And so I came home.
Good.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, if Lisa and Elvin let me move in, I would. I love them.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I know. We love your parents so much. Like
your mom, and we were like, what are your favorite things? And she was like, balloon art. I can't.
Yes. And it's so crazy. We all have our own little side kind of thing. So my mom actually does have
I know.
Yeah, her balloons. And then my dad, he is a mechanic, a diesel mechanic, and so he also has his own business too. So all 3 of us. And
I love it.
My middle brother is trying to start his. I won't give it away because he said, "Don't be talking about me." I said, "Okay." Yes, sir. And then my youngest brother is in the NBA.
Yes,
so
right.
It's just we're all doing something.
Yeah.
But I love
Is your middle brother not managing?
He is. So that's like his main job right now is to manage the younger one, because people don't realize when they go to the NBA, like their schedule is hectic. It's crazy. Like
I can't imagine.
Don't worry, I read Heated Rivalry, and I understand that professional athletes are very busy.
I read Rivalry. It took me a minute, but I'm there.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh. No, but I love the entrepreneurship of it, because I feel like in this day and age, you have to have something that you've created to put out there, to be honest, because it's so hard to now navigate all the companies, and then they're so quick to like not invest in employees anymore.
Well, it's not investment, and there's, unless you're working for the government or the state or what have you, it doesn't. There's not a benefit of working for a company anymore. Like they're not contributing to 401k. They're providing shitty ass insurance, and so it's like, sorry,
you got to create it.
Yeah, you got to create it.
Yeah.
I'll take that out so you could share this with people.
Oh no, it's fine. I have
I'm
have
sure she
older
has heard
kids
the bad word.
and I have older kids, and I go into college level. They'll be all right.
They're fine.
They'll be all right.
She has been working with,
I work with high schoolers.
schoolers.
Okay, I've heard way worse. Way
And they're
worse.
doing something hard because they're working on their math. So tell us about your businesses and what you've got going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my LLC, which is called the Jewel Institute of Education. And there I am a math tutor. And I also tutor in SAT, ACT to help them get to where they're going for college. What I think is special about kind of what I do and how I offer it is that it's specialized group tutoring. I believe that that math is a community, right? And you need other people around you kind of to get it done. I did throughout college, right? And then also using my teaching background, I know everybody's heard of small groups, right? And so a lot of our kids learn a lot better in small group atmosphere,
So
right?
smart.
But it's still individualized for that kid. So I may have like 3, no more than 5 kids, right, at a time, and I'm already like giving them what they need. But it's just something about not having that one-on-one with the tutor. Some kids, they struggle with that adult, and then just having somebody else, just another kid right there saying, oh, they're working on like something similar, or they're just working, period. Like, I got to get it done, right? You see it so much in like just in the classroom, right? So I'm taking what I have from the classroom and applying it there.
So smart. I think people learn so much more in the group setting. And then, is this a brick and mortar or is it virtual?
It's brick and mortar.
Where?
So it is right down the street from Windermere off of Grand Avenue.
Okay.
So Windermere Elementary in Pflugerville. So it's literally right down the street, like
Awesome.
it's 1315 Grand Avenue Parkway.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Nice.
But I don't really like virtual just for math, because
math.
it's like it's harder to, once they get going and everything, and I notice a mistake, right? I don't really see the mistake virtually until they show me their paper,
Exactly.
right?
And
or
so they could go down this train of
they could be making a lot of mistakes, and then it takes it too hard. You have to be able to watch every step they're doing.
And then trying to do that, I do know they have new technology. I've tried utilizing that, where they have like the little whiteboard on the side so they can do that. But even trying to do that with the mouse, it's just so hard. It's just easier. Bring them in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and it
gives
the family it gives the family a moment, and and an enjoyable place to learn math. I've seen your videos, and it looks fun.
Yeah,
I try.
You make it look fun.
Because I don't want it to be boring, because then I'm bored, right? I'm sitting there watching you just like write a problem, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Until you need me, like I'm bored. So if I make everything a game, then time moves faster for me too, right? Not just for the kids. Like I don't want to be bored in the things that I do.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh! And you're making it kinesthetic and crossing. Jody's a 30-year teaching vet.
I just retired.
You just retired?
Right.
What did you teach?
I taught SPED for many years, and I taught elementary. So, but for 30 years, I did behavior, like kids with emotional disabilities. So I worked with those kiddos for a long time. Yeah. But I loved it.
I do. And you know what's crazy? The ones that they claim have disabilities just need a little bit more love.
They do.
That's all it is.
You're exactly right.
That's all it is. There's nothing going on.
And they need to feel safe.
Yes.
They need to feel safe in making those, especially in math and when you're learning something new, taking those risks and knowing that, hey, let me help you with it, but let's have a relationship together to get through it.
Well, and school can be so intimidating. And what I've seen of your Jewel Institute is that it looks like, relaxed and enjoyable and engaging and fun.
Yeah.
And so I think even though
it probably feels more like a club.
Yeah.
Versus
a cool club.
Versus, I'm in trouble.
Hang out with the Shed today. I'm in.
Yeah.
I try.
Hi, come on in. Okay, tell me about your other company.
Yeah, your
so
nonprofit.
I also have a nonprofit called Ready Tutoring Inc. And with that, we are building pillars, and eventually I want to get up to 6 of them. Right now I only have 2. I do have plans for the future, but I want it to be a third home for just kids in general, right? And so we are doing seminars, we are doing events, just community events, but the teacher in me will not let them come and not do anything with knowledge. Right? Because knowledge is free. So the events are free, knowledge is free. So you're going to come and you're going to learn something, but it's going to be fun to where you don't even realize you're learning something. So all of my events have like a main theme, and then they also have an educational theme. So you will know when you're coming in there, like what you're doing. So for instance, we just did a cocoa and crafts in December. And all the kids came in there and they were, making their own cocoa, and they had crafts and all that. And they didn't even realize that the educational theme was measurement. So they came in, they were measuring their own cocoa. I already had it like put out for them, and I tiered it. So if it was a little kid, like, or a middle schooler or a high schooler, they were able to, follow. And I would just give them the correct page without them even realizing that that's what I was doing. Right. Nice. And then like the crafts were tiered too. So if you were younger, then you had basically kind of like coloring and was able to measure with like gummy bears and stuff like that, And then if you're older, you had rulers and everything when you're creating stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So just things of that nature, and trying to just bring like education back to where it's more fun and available, because there's a lot of events out there, but you always have to pay, right? And then so then I feel like the kids who kind of need it a little bit more miss out, because a lot of people, especially right now in this economy, do not have the funds for that.
That's true.
Right? And then so I want to reach as many kids as possible. So the best way is to make it free.
How long has your nonprofit been?
Not even a year.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Well, we want to be a partner of your nonprofit, so please share all the events so we can spread the word as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because I think also people need a safe place to go. I mean, we have the rec centers, and those are great. And thank you for rec centers. But this can also build a community within the community.
Confidence.
And
confidence about math, and
people need to feel connected. That's what the whole adjacent podcast is about.
That's
is
what
connecting.
we're about.
Yes.
So I get that.
And it's not just math for my nonprofit.
Okay.
So I do have like retired teachers like yourself, or just, the community of teachers. We're always like, oh, you're doing that? Okay, so can we make centers? Like,
fun.
So there's always just the teacher and us cannot get over like a good center.
I know. I'm just like, oh, what should I do there?
I know. She just bought a dress with hearts on it. I was like, why? Where are you going? Like,
you never know. Hey, I have an event coming up next month, and it's going to be Valentine and Black History theme. Wear your dress with hearts there, girl.
There you go.
See?
Shelly. See,
she knew it.
On me.
She knew it. She just didn't like realize it. She was just waiting to meet me to know
exactly.
that was an event coming.
Oh my gosh.
Do y'all have a group calendar for your event?
So we're getting there. Okay. My website for the Jewel Institute of Education is done. Okay. So if anybody wants to go and sign up for tutoring or need a consultation to know, what it is I offer and what it is I can do for your kid, whether they are homeschool, charter, private, public, whatever it is, we can make it work.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then for Ready Tutoring, it is up. I have like 2 other things that I just need to fix with the calendar.
Right.
And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So people can sign up from the website and have all the events there and all the calendars. And if it's on your heart to donate so I can keep doing what I need to do, then everything will be right there within like the next 2 weeks, and I'll have that one finished.
Okay, I have to ask because I'm a Virgo and I need a number. What's the cost of running both of the businesses? Like, what level of donations do you need?
So for Ready Tutoring, right now, since I'm just doing 2 pillars and I'm just doing small events and I'm doing seminars, honestly, for the year, around $15K.
Okay.
Because I'm very frugal, right? And then, the teacher in us, we can find a good deal.
Yeah, we can.
Right? We know where all the crafts are, where we can get them, and know how to buy in bulk to where I can service at least up to 100 kids, right? That can come in and out. You always want to overestimate because you never know what, like if it's the day of or, things happen. So, so around $15K for Ready Tutoring for the year.
Awesome.
Yeah,
wow,
that's
fantastic. And I love this. I can see teachers like myself getting totally involved in it.
Yeah,
this is so
100%.
amazing.
Do you are all of your nonprofit events at the Jewel Institute?
Yes, starting off because
so they're at the same place. That's great.
Yeah, because it's my place already.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then it's easier to just kind of decorate it the way I want, move my tables and stuff the way I want, have the centers the way I want, and have it timed so I can actually prep everything, the teacher in us, the day before, have all my centers ready, right? So then the day of, all I have to do is kind of show up, right? Yeah. And then like maybe tweak something here or there that I thought of throughout the night and just be ready.
Well, I can feel your energy and your passion. It's so... It's contagious.
It is.
It is contagious. So where do you think this all stems from? All of your drive and your...
An L with a Y with an S with an A.
You already know. So I will say really my family, going back to your question of like, with how it was growing up, we didn't get time to kind of chill. Right. So my parents were, if anybody knows my parents, that like they made sure that all three of their kids were doing something every moment of every day. Yeah. Right. So even in high school, like I was in NHS, I played on the basketball team. I was a cheerleader. I still had my stuff outside of school for AAU. We did 2-a-days. Right. Basketball made us run cross country. I was on the JV. I didn't want to run. I'm gonna put that right here. Right. Yeah. So we were always doing something. I went to college and I played basketball. I double majored and then I also had a part-time job with tutoring, right? And then I finished my double major and literally moved to San Marcos, and me and my brother lived together while he was at Texas State because I was at Texas State, and I started my master's, and so I have that now. So it's just we were they always said, hey, put your best foot forward, just get out there, do what you need to do. And one thing I will always give them credit for is that they are very supportive in everything that we do. Yeah. So,
100%.
That's
amazing.
Ma'am.
They are. Oh my gosh. You're a gem.
You're a dynamo.
Holy moly.
Okay, when you're not like... tutoring, running
saving the
nonprofits, helping children,
when you take your cape
your off, all that. What are you doing on your free time?
Free time?
What is free time? Yeah.
But no, with my free time, I am an avid reader. So yes, I have slowly started with my best friend. We're gonna start, and then I also met a new friend. We're gonna start going to like little bookstores and everything, trying to find, like in Austin, like where we can go and just kind of read and like chill and just kind of talk. Because we don't have time for a book club because we never know when my friends, they're all kind of like me. You never know when you'll have the time to kind of sit down, right? But so that's kind of it. And I am an anime girly. So I will put that on in a second, and sit there.
Do you have outfits?
Oh, so I don't cosplay. I do want to get into it. It's just like as you heard, like I'm always busy. So now it's like, okay, I have the time to actually like think about it and see which character I would like to be. And also money. People don't realize cosplaying costs money.
It does.
Right? It's expensive. So like, I'm like, where in the budget can I fit that?
Oh my God. Do you utilize your knowledge of anime with your students? Because that is huge.
Oh yeah, we have a whole breakdown. We'll have battles. Because I'm like, no, this one is better than this one. I was like, where were y'all at? I was like, I started back in the 90s, right? You cannot tell me that DBZ is gonna beat Sailor Moon. And I know I just started a fight with everybody out there, but it's okay.
It's okay.
All right, let's just all come to the conclusion that Sailor Moon will beat your favorite character.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're drawing the line of the same.
Yes. I don't even want anybody to come back at me. It's fine. You take with it what you will.
Have your own opinion.
Yes. And this one is mine.
Yeah.
But you better substantiate that opinion with some facts.
For sure.
Have you been
to your own podcast?
Have you? Have you been to the Vintage Bookstore and Wine Bar on 11th Street?
No, that's on my list. That's on my list, though. Is it good?
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Okay.
And a lot of
they have
loungy areas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, I like the lounge areas too because a lot of my stuff, if I'm not at the center, like doing stations and stuff, I can do on my computer, you know, and like build listeners and stuff like that. So you know how you just want a different like view. So sometimes it's better to kind of go somewhere and work and not be stuck in that one spot.
So it was an old bank.
Oh, okay. So that makes more sense. When I was seeing pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, it's really cute.
And it's right but next to one of our favorite places to go have
City.
to have a little cocktail.
A little place called Nickel City.
Hey.
Not that we're pushing that on you.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather drink wine than hard alcohol. Okay.
Yeah. Wine is good.
Yes.
All right. That's my favorite little dive. It's kind of a dive, but it's really pretty. It's like a beautiful
so pretty.
It has beautiful wallpaper and everything.
Agreed.
Where's your favorite place to go eat?
Oh, I'm a foodie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have like a favorite. I love seafood. I love Tex-Mex, right? I mean, I'll try something once. I've had different types of African food, right? I've had different type of Asian food, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thai. Like, I'm just a foodie.
Yeah.
So wherever there is good food, I will ask though, what's in it? Because sometimes, you just got to know like what you're eating. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. But other than that, like I'll try mostly anything like once and see like if I like it or not, you know? And I'll be like, can you just give me a sample?
Yeah.
Let me try it. And then like if I like it, I'll buy like, you know, I like going to new restaurants. That is something I'll do in my free time too. I'll go somewhere that's new and just like see what they got going on, if it's good or not, you know.
Oh, that's great. Do you like to cook like your mom?
I do, and I bake. So I'm the baker of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when any like, you know, Christmas, Thanksgiving come around, I do the pies, I do the cakes, everything. So
how many people, I can't even imagine.
Oh my gosh.
How many people come to y'all's house during the holidays?
Oh, girl. It just depends on what they got going on. But, I mean, there's a lot. We're kind of
Your mom
the glue.
has the open
You're
door.
the glue.
Yeah. And then anybody who we've, like my dad, everybody, I guess, kind of knows he has his own youth organization, right? Which is actually continued through both of my brothers, right? Because the younger one that's in the NBA has his own AAU teams that my middle brother is over. So like he coaches and he does everything. So so like anybody that we've coached, if your family's not here or something of that nature or whatever it is, like maybe you just move back here or whatever, they already know that Thanksgiving, Christmas, any kind of time, they can just call and say, hey, I'm here. Can we stop by? And if we're at home, they're more than welcome to stop by.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we have an open door
sweet.
policy.
Incredible.
I bet it gets really crowded.
It does. I'll tell them to go home though.
Yeah.
I am that one as the big sister, right? I'm like, okay, I love y'all, right? But you're overstimulating me. You've been here for like 3 hours or more. I would really appreciate it if everybody could go home and maybe we can reconvene the next day.
Yeah.
You're
like
2 hours is plenty.
Oh no, they'll stay. They'll stay as long as we allow them.
Yeah.
They will be there, and I love it. Right. But sometimes if I'm just like, okay, like I've had a long day dealing with children.
Yeah.
Right. I really want you guys to go home.
Yeah.
Yes. And they know. And so they're like, all right, Autumn, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, yes, see you tomorrow. Yes. Just go home now.
Now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm glad they have that.
Yeah.
Because I know they're just like open heart, like come here. They need it.
Yeah.
I'm sure your mom's like, thank you for studying.
Yeah. Yes. Because she'll just let them stay.
I
Both of them.
know.
I've been preaching to both of them boundaries.
Yeah.
Right. It's okay to draw that line.
Yeah.
Right. And it's okay to say, hey, this is what we have going on right now.
Yeah.
Like you can stay until this time and then tomorrow. And you know, I had to learn those boundaries. That's one thing I learned with the kids. Because the kids, even high schoolers, people feel like, you know, high schoolers, you know, they're a little bit more grown up. No. They're just big babies.
Yeah.
They're really just like they're big babies who can talk back, right, and can run. Like that's literally it. They'll come up to me and be like, Miss Shead, can I give you a hug? I'm like, whoa. Like remember, I have like a bubble, and you can do a side hug. right? Not a front one, because they'll jump on you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We can like fist bump, we can dap it up, anything like that. Like, but please, I have to teach them how to like ask to be in my bubble.
She's the body bubble.
I have a body bubble. It's pretty large.
Yes, mine is too. It encompasses my desk and everything.
Yeah, I'm inside her body bubble right now.
I know she's like,
She's my sister. It's fine.
Yes.
It took a long time to be able to get this close.
Yes, I understand.
So when you played sports, being on a team, I know that having that team mentality and being in a sports, it's probably has helped you in your life in so many ways.
Yes.
What are some of the lessons that you've taken away from all of your time playing sports and being on a team?
She was on a team the day she was born.
Right.
That.
Yes.
It was cheer first, cheer and dance first, and then it's like sixth grade it switched to basketball, and then it was basketball basically the rest of my life.
Yes.
But I would say one of the main things that I got from being on a team is just kind of learning how to operate with different people, right, in different aspects of their life,
different coaches,
everything. And then, so like if you have a boss who's over you, how to operate that dynamic,
right.
And then also perseverance, right. I feel like that's the main thing that I feel like anyone who's ever played a sport, period, and especially collegiate athletes. Like, I know I was a little bit further down on a totem pole because I was D3, right? But just seeing the same.
You made it.
Hey, I did. Shout out to Texas Lutheran Bulldogs. Okay, we won our conference when I was there. We started the banners. All right, that's all I gotta say. But I will say for real, just perseverance, especially I feel like a different perseverance in D3 because we were more academic prone. So all of the girls on my team, like there was a couple of us who were in math, right? There was a couple of us who did double majors for science too, who had chemistry and physics, right? Yeah. I mean, so we had study sessions kind of together.
Wow.
Right? And trying to figure it out and then go to practice.
Do you think D3 is like focus on education?
Yes, it is.
So they utilize the sport to get to the school.
Yes.
Okay.
So because so the way it works, like D1 and D2, like they can give you money, right, for sports. D3 you cannot. You have to get academic.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so a lot of the coaches, they understand that. So like you're going there kind of to play and everything, and it's still serious. Don't get me wrong. Like because some people will go to D3 and think like it's just club ball or something like that, but it's really not. Like it depending on which D3 you go to.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing like with JUCO. Depending on which JUCO you go to, because there's a JUCO that's kind of better than a lot of D1s out there. Okay.
Agreed.
So it just kind of depends on the coaches.
We play
and
baseball
everything.
against them.
See, yeah. So because like when I was there, like we had a winning culture. Like softball was like, I mean, they won the conference 4 times in a row. Football won, I think, like 3. Soccer won like 2. Girls and boys. Like, I mean, we just had a winning culture while we were there. And everybody, I mean, just because the campus was kind of small, like we kind of. All of the athletes were together. Right. So we did a lot of classes and everything together. We always made sure that everyone like had what they needed and so that everyone could graduate.
Do you have a lot of crossover of clients that are also with your dad and your dad's programs?
Not anymore because they all grew up with me.
Okay.
So I think eventually I'll have their kids.
Okay.
Because I'm only 32. So like a lot of their kids are a little younger. I will say I start tutoring at 3rd grade. And that's really because since my degree was in mathematics, right? And I kind of was teaching high school. With 3rd grade, at least they can talk to you, right, and everything. And people don't realize that the
STAR is in play.
If STAR is in play, and then like the younger ones, people don't realize that takes a whole nother mindset for math. And I know you understand it with being an elementary, and I feel like that would be too big of a switch for me when I know for sure that I can do 3rd and above.
Well, and I think it's great because you know what the goal is for high school.
Yes.
That you're working with 3rd graders. That's like, hey, this is where we're getting you. I think that's so important. And a lot of people get in their little niche and they don't look at the big.
And that's when you can actually see the foundational gaps is about 3rd grade.
Oh, I can see it. I can see the COVID gaps and I can see the foundational gaps. I can see, because there's like, people don't even realize that there's natural gaps that you would have depending on like, just kind of what you were exposed to at a younger age and stuff like that, and once you get into school.
Well, I think that's a very important topic. Can you speak to the COVID gaps? Because I don't think, like, some of us, our kids were already out of high school, college before.
Or they were in high school.
Yeah,
so.
before the COVID situation even happened. And everybody's talking about these COVID gaps. We don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, girl.
Oh, wow. Okay. Look, that could be a whole segment in itself.
I know. But I think it's important for people to hear.
Yes, it is. So I will take the standpoint from a high school teacher because that's where I was when COVID happened and then the gaps appeared, right? So before then, there were already natural gaps, right? So in math, a lot of issues that I've always seen that kids have is with solving. Right. So in like just kind of moving across that equal sign, like they struggle with that concept. And then also with fractions and exponents.
Oh,
right.
Gosh,
and so and that even goes. That's why I said the high schoolers are just big kids, because that, I mean, they start with the I can't attitude in elementary. So by the time they get to me, I have to restructure their whole thinking of I can do this and this is how I do this. Right. To make sure that like they're good, right? So you have those regular ones. Now, when you get to, for COVID, I want everyone to think about this. So if you were in Algebra 1, right, your COVID year would have been like 7th grade, where you missed almost a whole year of school, basically 2, right? Because we ended out on that little March where a lot of pre-algebra stuff happens, and then you go into the next school year, right? So they missed a whole school year where they learned the basics, right? Where it's like, where before they come to me for algebra, like where they're learning like one-step equations, right? Where they're learning the difference between ratios and proportions, where they're learning how to maneuver. They should have already learned in elementary how to maneuver between like fractions and percents, but it's reinforced, right, in that kind of age range. And then you get to me, right? You've never seen a one-step equation, and in Algebra 1, we get up to multi-step, where you're doing like 3 to 4 or 5 different steps, right? So if you can't do one step, how can you do multi? So now I have to go back and reteach kind of like the whole 7th grade, 8th grade kind of year, just so that you can understand the Algebra 1 aspects, which is a STAR test that you have to pass to get out of high school. Right? So that, and I know, I'm just speaking from a math point of view, and I know it's the same thing with English, social studies, everything, because you're missing that vital information that will give you basically the background knowledge to the things that I'm going to teach you. So now as a teacher, I got to go all the way back. So before, maybe I'll have to go back like on one concept, like one little subject for different kids, depending again of what they had learned before. Maybe the teacher just didn't have time to get to this, which is totally fine. I get you, girl. I get you, man. You know what I'm saying? But now everybody missed, right? You know, so they missed a whole year and a half of knowledge that is the background core to high school stuff. And then don't even get me started on the middle school, because in middle school, like, that means you missed a lot of stuff in elementary, which is your background, right? So if you're like 6th grade, that was a couple of years ago, so maybe that was like 3rd grade year that you missed, which is a lot of main concepts for multiplication, division, like, so that means by the time you get to me, you can't multiply and divide. You know, because the teacher don't have time to go all the way back. All they can do is just make sure that you have the concepts that they feel like you need, and give you as much structural piece that they can within the time period, which a lot of us don't get a lot of time with them. I want y'all to think about the STAR year, right? They come in August. STAR happens in the end of March and April. And then if you are block scheduled, like, cut that time in half. And then cut that like by a fourth, because I mean, there's all the testing that the state needs to do, that the district needs to do, and then there's
so I have 7 days to teach them algebra.
Basically, basically. So
and in that 7 days, I have to catch them up from the COVID
and
years.
then the state and the district doesn't give you enough time to do remediation. It's like next. So those kids get further and further behind.
So there's no
you're
time
the
to
way
catch
to
them
get
up.
that.
Yes, I'm the way. I am the way to kind of help them and make sure that they are good in class. Because I have a couple who just, that gap is just, it's just wide, and they just feel like they're drowning.
And all it does is get bigger.
Yes. And then they just feel lost. And then they want to put their head down on the desk.
Yes.
Can you speak to this? Because I feel like you're the perfect person to do it. Back in the day, there was like this push, for whatever reason, girls and math were not friends. I love math.
You're very good at math.
Because I'm a Virgo, and math.
Period. I'm gonna clock that.
I know.
Virgo here. Yes.
This makes sense so
Virgo power.
This makes sense.
When's your birthday?
Okay.
September 13th.
18th.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Team Virgo, for sure.
Yes.
But back in the day, and your mom can speak to this for sure, it's like girls in math, no bueno, not friends. STEM.
Yeah, mostly STEM.
Yeah.
Science,
math, technology,
engineering, anything like that. Yeah.
But a lot of math. It was like, oh, you're not going to get that. Go write a paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because they felt like, I can already see where your question is going.
Yeah.
Is they felt like a lot of women and girls, right, are more on the creative side of their brain, not necessarily the other side.
Exactly.
Right? And so the fact that if a girl could get it, they're like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Right? And so then there's kind of like that misogynistic kind of divide within there. And then so instead of, I feel like back in the day, instead of them feeling like, oh, we need to band together, right? Because I'm a girl, you're a girl, we're both in this situation, let's figure this out, right? Because we both can take up space within this male-dominated space, right? It was more of a fight because they will only allow one girl, right? They were only like, so if you're in that department or anything,
and
if you notice a
secretary.
lot of... yeah. So if you notice like it back in the day in like engineering and everything, they would pick one girl.
Yeah.
And that was it. So then they made it a competition for that one girl to be involved. Yeah. I will say I feel like it's gone
shifting.
Gone down here and shifted.
That was my question.
Because a lot of us, like even when I'm teaching, like, oh no, we're in it together. I'm like, hey, I don't understand this one. Right? How did you get there?
Right.
Right. And that's like the main part is I feel like with being a teacher is you learn how to ask those questions.
Yes.
Because I know I do not know everything. Right. I know that. And I tell my students, I don't know everything. Right. If you have a question and I don't remember it, I'm like, hold up. Like it's been a minute since I've seen stats. Let me go and look at this row. Right. And so I can make sure like, okay, I remember this formula. Now let me get you.
And I love that. I worked in the IB program for a while. International Baccalaureate program, and there was such a beautiful way of utilizing resources. It's like if you, just like you said, if there was somebody else that you're like, I don't know, but I know where to find it. And they even were like, utilize a student. Like, you're really good at writing. Yeah. Go ahead and you write this part. I can do the equation. Let's utilize the resource. Do you see that finally morphing into the school systems finally?
I see that with the younger generation of teachers.
Right.
So the older generation of teachers, I'm not saying that they don't do it. I just feel like from my view and like looking at them, they just have a harder time doing it. Where I don't even know how that shift happened for us younger ones. But I was a lead at Arlington Martin. Shout out Arlington Martin, right? And my teachers who I had there, like the team that I had, like we were good because even though I was the lead, I would look at them and be like, hey, you know how to do this? I don't remember this, right? And then they were like, oh, okay, I did this, right? And so we would share those resources so that not only would we win, but the kids would win, right? And so I don't even know where the shift came from. I'm
so grateful
give
for
kudos
the shift.
for my generation and the generation behind me to like actually like know that we do not know everything and it's okay to ask for help.
Agreed.
And that's why also I say math is a community because I learned to ask for help, right? Yeah. So when my kids come in and they come into the Jewel, like I want them to ask for help. Do not be afraid.
Come into the Jewel. I love that.
Come into the Jewel, right?
Come into the Jewel.
Like, just ask. Like, that's what I'm there for, you know? Now, I do a lot of Socratic.
Come meet the Jewel in the Jewel.
Yes. I do a lot of Socratic, though. So I will sometimes answer your question with a question because I want you to be able to get to the solution for yourself.
It's okay to lean on some people to help you get there.
Yes.
But you also have to have an understanding of it. You can't just be leaning completely on, like I lean on her so much on her Virgo-ness.
Yes.
Because I'm not living on that land. I don't live in that
Virgo
world.
number one.
Yes.
But in a lot of cultures in different countries, they do.
It's collaborative.
They'll say, here's a test, but you can collaborate with
compete with
others
that?
to get through the test.
Yeah.
And my thing is I don't understand why we don't do that in school, period.
Agreed.
I don't understand why. Well, I do understand. The reason we have a lot of testing is that's political and that
Very
is more so
political.
money, right? That's a financial thing. Everybody's taking that test in Texas. Texas is basically as big as any country. So the economic power there, right? That's a lot of money.
That's
so
a lot
I do
of money.
understand.
It's a money thing.
Yes,
Who's getting paid?
that I no comment on that one. But like
I know who's not getting paid.
me, look, the teachers. I can say that from
frontliners.
Yes, the frontliners, the ones who are out there actually teaching your kids.
Exactly.
You know, I'd be like, send
During
some money our way.
During COVID.
During COVID, you know, y'all put us in this jeopardy because who knows what y'all kids are doing outside. But yeah, it's just like I know that there's so many. They teach us, right? If you go to an actual educational program, which is what I did at TLU, right?
Yeah.
Again, shout out TLU. That's my alma mater.
I love it.
I actually had to get into a teaching program where they taught me how to teach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So my thing is, it's like I just don't understand like the dynamic of like the bigger schools. There's a lot of bigger schools where all you do is you just say, I'm going to go get my math degree, and then you take the test.
Yeah.
Right. They don't teach you how to teach. So then when you get there, like, what's classroom management? What's that?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I have to? What is horizontal alignment? What's vertical alignment? What are these words? And I'm just like, oh my God, like
vertical alignment. Oh.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you.
Are you so happy?
Oh my
You're
gosh.
gonna tell
You and I, we're going to go to that library store and I'm going to be like, tell me everything.
Yes.
I love it.
You're speaking my language.
I have another question. AI and math. How is this affecting your students?
Honestly, not much because
Good.
with English, I feel like it's affecting them a lot because the AI can write the paper for them. So again, I don't think that AI is bad. We discussed this a little bit earlier, but I think it's just a tool, right?
Yeah.
So you have to teach the kids how to utilize that tool, just like how for math a calculator is a tool, right? So I have to teach them how to utilize it. You should know the main concept. Now, if you need a little help because the numbers are big, I get you because I need to use it too, right?
I agree.
But for math, not so much because if they put it into the AI, I know what I taught you. And then I also know that I taught you in layman's terms. So if you come in here and you have this big vocabulary, you know, of how you solve this problem, I'm going to look at you because I didn't teach you that word.
Yeah.
How do you know? And I know you didn't read it because a lot of these kids don't read. And that's a whole nother topic with the epidemic of reading.
So
right?
sad.
So I know you didn't. So it's really not, I feel like, not as bad for math teachers because, again, like, we're teaching you in layman's terms. You know, I know you do not understand this. So explain it to me. I'll sit there and I'll wait. I'll be like, explain it to me. How did you get there? They're like, Miss.
Here's another problem. Show me the steps.
It's called Chat GPT.
Yes.
Well, you can use the AI tools to say, show me the steps on solving this problem, and then that could help you solve another problem. And that's a great way to teach them to use the tool.
Yes.
And then calculators, I never had a problem with kids using calculators.
It's utilizing your resources.
It's a resource as long as they understood the steps and the concept.
Yes.
But some people get really bogged down with, they shouldn't be using calculators. I'm like, well, if some kids are having giant meltdowns because there's they have like a 40 question test, why don't we just see if they can answer like a few of these without the calculator? But if they need to use the calculator, what's more important is their mental stability.
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
And so just kind of coming from a classroom standpoint, one of the things that I did is I built their confidence to actually do it by themselves, right? And we did it throughout the year. And then one of their things that I had them is like, hey, after I build your confidence, right, and you learn how to do it by hand, now I'm going to give you the calculator steps.
Yes.
Right? So if you need, a lot of kids, they don't realize, a lot of kids, like, they want to learn and they want to be able to do it by themselves. Some of my kids will be like, Miss, I don't need that. I need you to lock in. That's their thing, right? They'll look at me and go like this and be like, lock in. I need you to help me figure out how to do this. And I'm like, okay, my bad. Okay, let's get this going, right?
Yeah.
And so the way that I teach is like the steps that I would utilize to solve the problem. You know, I will go through myself. And I feel like a lot of teachers do this, right? And then you use those steps that you wrote, and that's how you teach your kids. What I'm seeing is the issue within math is that we have a lot of smart mathematicians. Okay, let me put that out there. They're tremendous, smarter than me. Okay, I will put that out. Like, they know their stuff. Sometimes what we have is they get into the teaching field, and then because their brain is up here, they feel like all the rest of the students should be up here. And so they then don't know how to break it down. Right. And so so that's the issue that I see in math. It's not that the teachers do not know their stuff, and it's not that they're not brilliant, right? You have those that just do not know how to bring it back down because they are brilliant. Right. And so it just takes, like, a brain
switch. That's the teaching part. That's the teaching.
That's what I meant.
Schools are important.
That is the critical. That is not everybody has that skill set. I have a child with autism, and I have a lot of skills, but breaking down skills to teach to him was one of the hardest things. It's like, you spread the
and that's what mathematicians do. Like, hey, this is just this. Why don't you get it?
Why don't you get it?
And it's like, well, you have to realize that as a mathematician, in my head, I've already done 3 steps, right? To look at that problem to do the next step. Right. So then, they have to be able to say, oh, you're missing, like, even though I'm on the 4th step and I feel like you should understand, you're missing the first 3. So I need to back down and go back to that first one that you were missing, right? So that you're able to use that problem. Because not a lot of people are math brain, right? So they should give them the resource to where they can do, this is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3, right? Because then that teaches them how to formulate those steps in their head. So when they come across another problem, they automatically start doing it.
And it's not just math. Learning that skill set serves everything. Life skills.
Teaches
social
grit,
perseverance, like everything.
Because that's what I saw with a lot of what I'm seeing a lot is just a lack of grit. A lot, they just want it to come to them easily. I see some that have tremendous grit, but I think that
instant gratification.
Yes, delayed gratification. It's hard in the tech world at times because they want that right now. Like with Amazon, I was like, what? It's going to take 2 weeks to get this? I need it today. Yeah.
Why are we and then it's really up to you to go back and like make sure that you knew that you needed it 2 weeks ago to get it on the day you wanted it.
But that's what your brains are set up for.
That's
your
where
Virgos.
Hey, go ahead.
Well, I just feel like in the Jewel Institute of Ed, you guys are doing that. You're going to build that learner to have that perseverance, to help those young learners see, I can do this. I can do hard things. You're teaching them not just the math skills and the educational skills, you're teaching those life skills that I think having a smaller place, sometimes separate from a school setting, it just gives them a place that they can go. It feels like it's more welcoming. They have a cohort of learners.
And then they become part of the Shead family. So
and then they can come and have dinner with you.
There's that. They will definitely be like, hey, miss, where your brother at? I'm like, in Canada. What do you want me to do? Like, he's not here. You're supposed to be here to see me, not him. Okay?
Oh, my God. Hey, speaking of, do you tell us, like, plug yourself, total plug, but do you work with people with different learning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Again, I feel like that utilizes my teaching background. I'm able to work with learners of all stages, right? I hate to say the word disabilities because I don't really, again, I feel like it's different not disability. It's just different ability, right? And maybe sometimes you just need a little bit longer, right, to take it in to understand, right? And so I do have the patience to be able to be like, okay, I need you to do this problem one more time. Right. And again, follow my steps. Right. I'm teaching them again, like, this is step 1. This is what you need to be able to do. And I'm also teaching them if they have steps, you should be able to tell me where you get lost. Right.
Yes.
So that's on you because you should be in control of your learning.
I love that.
Okay. So if we're going through these steps and you get to step 3, you should be able to tell me, Miss Autumn, I was able to do step 1 and step 2. Can you help me on step 3? Right. And I'm like, yes. So then I know specifically where your you're lost too.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And it makes my job a little bit easier with that to be like, okay, this is where you're lost. Okay, so maybe it's because you do not understand the concept of this step.
Yes.
Right? And so let me find something where it has to do with the concept, not necessarily the step itself. Right? And then so once we get the concept, we can come back and you're like, oh, boom, 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 get all the way to step 5 and you're done. You know? So it's just that piece.
And what you're building right now, Autumn, is, to me, you're building a one-stop shop of community building, learning, empowerment, and a place where people can go to learn other skills that are they're fun, they're engaging. You have the whole thing with Ready Tutoring, Inc., as well as Jewel Institute. I just
love it.
I think it's going to blast off. You're going to market this in multiple states and places. It's going to be all over the place. I know my kids use tutorings. They went to different community centers. They did all of that. It's about building the whole child. And when you see a kid functioning at a lower area or having a struggle, there's a place they can go and get that help that they need, but also eventually where they're like, I feel confident.
Yes.
Well, and I think a lot of times people go to college and there's so many resources, there's so much support and everything in college. But there was a disconnect in high school when you got pulled out for support, that there was something wrong with you or what have you.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Nothing.
Yeah.
We all have different brains.
Yeah.
Everybody does things that not all of us can be Virgos. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
You Sagittarius out there, I mean, I know y'all want to be us.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Don't come at me. But to make this more like a commonplace so that they utilize the resources available to them and they go, because those are free. They're free. They're part of your tuition. Utilize those tutors.
And I kind of teach them how to do that too. So like when they come in, like I teach them how to take notes. That's the first thing we go over.
Yes, please.
Right. So I have a gap assessment, but the gap assessment that I do is like we do.
Smart.
Yes, you already know. See, teacher brain. But the gap assessment that I do is me and the child doing questions together.
It's like y'all.
I hate testing. I literally hate testing. I'm really not going to test your child in that way because there's so much testing anxiety and these kids have so much pressure on them already. I want them to be comfortable with me, right? So if you want a gap assessment, we're partners. We're doing this together. So if you want a gap assessment, the first thing we're doing is problems together. As a teacher, I can see where you have your gaps. Okay, especially in math. If you can't do this concept, I'm like, okay. You know, like it's really apparent just observing how you are solving these problems and what you're doing, like where your gaps are, and if your teacher only taught you the calculator, right? So it's very apparent. Like it's nothing like I'm telling a kid, hey, can you do this problem? And they're just looking at me. I hand them a calculator. They at least start typing and they know they like to try to type something, but we're not using TI Inspires, right? We're not using TI 84s. I'm giving you a regular calculator because I feel like your gaps should really only be in like multiplication, division, like those big numbers, right? You should still be able to do the concept.
Right.
And so like they'll look at me and be like, huh? And I'm like, okay, I see it. It's okay. We're good. We're going to the next problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so just being able to do that, I teach them how to take notes because notes is really only in 3 parts for math, right? In other pieces, yes, right? But literally you just need a topic, right? You need an example and you need to learn how to explain that example in your own words, right? So that when you look back at your notes, I teach them how to utilize that, right? So we took notes last time. You bring that to tutoring, right? You pull that out. And then the question, that's your guides as we're going through. Because again, you should be able to tell me,
damn good
I
notes.
get through, I get through 1 to 2 and I'm stuck on step 3. Right. So I teach them how to basically like, be able to do that. Because when you go to school, I need to know where your teacher is at. Right. So
if there's even a teacher in there,
there's a shortage. Teacher, whatever you're doing, like I need to be able to see that so that I can know the best way to help you. And so I have to teach them how to do that. So when they come back to me, I'm like, oh, we're here. Right. And this is what I can do to help.
Oh my gosh.
Is there enhancement? Like if somebody masters everything, you keep going.
I keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't stop.
Well,
so once they get it,
She does SAT prep and all of that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We keep going.
Okay, tell it. How do people find you? What do they do? How do they reach you?
So,
do you have availability?
Yeah, I do. I have availability. You can definitely just go to my website at JewelInstituteofEducation.com. If you just want to see more of me, right? You can definitely go to my Instagram and my Facebook, which is also the Jewel Institute of Education. And for Ready Tutoring, I do have the website, but it is, give me about a week or two, right? And it'll be up and running. But for now, a lot of my pieces for Ready Tutoring will be on my Instagram and Facebook for the Jewel Institute until we get, so that you know, like, okay, this event is free. If it's a free event, it's Ready Tutoring, right? I'm sorry, if y'all got to pay, right, for tutoring, it's most likely the Jewel Institute.
That's good. Yeah.
And what are your hours?
I'm very flexible. That's why I ended up doing it like this. So if you're homeschooled, right, and you need hours during the day, we can make that work. If you have a homeschool cohort where it's a couple of kids, we can work out like a payment where it's like, so all of y'all, because I know a lot of kids who get homeschooled, right, their parents are on a one income household, right? So we can work out a payment plan or whatever we need to do for those kids. So if you need me to meet them like twice a week and it's like 6 kids, like at 11, like, we can do that.
Yeah, that's
right.
Amazing.
And then I also have availability in the afternoons for my kiddos who actually go to like public school, private school, whatever. And you can go and sign up. It'll show you if there's when you go to the calendar after you get your portal, right? It'll show you what's available and what's left, right?
Okay.
So if I have you come in and you do your 8th grade, right? You'll see all the 8th grades. And so you can see throughout the month, like where it is that you can get tutoring and you can sign up for that day and it'll deduct, right? So then if there's only 2 more spots left, once you do it, then it'll show there's only 1 more spot left for somebody else. Right. And I'm only doing like, again, 3 to 5 kids at a time because even though it's a community, I don't want the community to be too large while I'm trying to help you because I want to make sure that like as an individual, you get what you need.
Yes.
Okay.
Autumn has great ideas. She's capable. She has a very supportive house, and she needs $15,000, you guys, to do all the nonprofit work that she wants.
Yes,
for the nonprofit work that she wants to do. So lean in, support it.
Let's get this going. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love what you're doing to help children feel more confident in their learning. So that's because then they'll just take it super far.
Yes.
So thank you for everything.
Thanks for coming in. Keep us posted.
Yes,
We're family.
will. Yes, we are.
I introduced the parents.
She's like takes.
Yeah. I take full credit.
Full credit. Well, thank you for coming in.
You were born because of me.
I'll let them know because my dad, like, he thinks he's big dog, you know?
That's so funny. All right. With all that being said, Texas.
Yeah.